Alright, give me a second. I'm gonna set up this so it's like more comfortable feeling, because I think I'd rather have you guys over on the left. You guys can hear me, right? Alright, good. Alright, let's get some work done. Of course, as always, you can ask questions in the background if you want, and I'll answer what I can. Let's see, is this a good volume? Can you guys still hear me pretty well? Music was fine before. I'll leave it right there. Alright, let's do this. Thanks, Storm. Thanks, Storm. All right, let's do this. Okay. Is the quality low for you guys? Alrighty, so the plan here is I'm doing each of the feats. Probably going to focus on racial feats first, and then I'll probably go back to general. I don't know. I'm going to leave general for last, though, because I want to fill in any missing slots with it. But I'm going to start with racial, then I'm going to go into martial, and then mundane, and then magic, and then wanderer. How will feats work in general? How many do we get? So, you get one feat for each roll, and then you get a general feat. So, for example, if you're a fighter, which is martial mundane, you would get a total of 3 feats at 4th level. You'd get 1 for your martial side, 1 for your mundane side, and then 1 general feat. The general feat is the racial. No, a general feat can be any feat that doesn't have a prerequisite. Or any feat that you meet the prerequisite for. So this will let people lean more or against their various roles if they want. So 2 magic and 1 wander, for example. Sure, if you wanted. Of course, I might limit it further than that, though. I might say the general feat has to be general or racial. I don't know yet. Let's see here. Okay. Well, Zen, the plan is, I'm still working on this part, but I might make it to where you you gain an ASI or a general feat, but the martial and but the role-based feats are not exchangeable for an ASI. Quarterling count as half-breed? Yes. Hmm. Let me see here. Those are pretty good. What was the last one for half-breed? Oh, that's, you get to choose whatever your sub-race ability of your mixed blood is. Like, if you are a half-orc, then you would choose one of the orcish sub-races. Like green skin and being immune to bleed? Correct. Orcish Ferocity is a base race ability. You don't get that. Weak refers to the ability of subrace's modifier. That's because base half-breed gets only the ability score bonus. This feat will allow you to take the subrace ability, like, for example, greenskins are immune to bleed, so you get access to that. But you do not get access to the base ability of whatever that race is, like Determination from Human or Orcish Ferocity. I need something else. Let's see.
misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep.
Plain touch and Skinwalker don't get racial feats, no.
We must away ere break of day to seek the pale enchanted gold. The dwarves of yore made mighty spells, while hammers fell like ringing bells in places deep where dark things sleep. In hollow halls beneath the fells, for ancient
What's up, Storm Edge?
and elvish lord,
Megatron. Oh, God.
in golden hold, they shaped and brought, and light they caught, to hide in gems on hills of salt, on silver necklaces they strung, the flowering stars on crowns they hung, the dragonfly in twisted wine, they meshed the light of moon and sun. Far over
The misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old.
we must away ere break of day to claim our long forgotten gold. Goblets they carve there for themselves, and harps of gold where no man delves. There lay they long, and many a song was sung unheard by men or bushes blazed with light. The bells were ringing in the and men looked up with faces pale. The dragon's fire, more fierce than fire, and more than towers and houses frail. The mountains smoked beneath the moon. The dwarves they heard the tramp of doom. The tramp of doom. They fled their home to die and fall beneath his feet, beneath the moon. The world was young, the mountains green, no stain yet on the moon was seen. No words were laid on stream or stone when Durin woke and walked alone. He named the nameless hills and dells. He drank from yet untasted wells. He stooped and looked in mirror and saw a crown of stars appear as gems upon a silver thread above the shadows of his head. The world is grey, the mountains old, the forge's fire is ashen cold. No harp is rung, no hammer falls, the darkness dwells in Durin's halls. The shadow lies upon his tomb in Moria, in Khazad-dûm. But still the sunken stars appear in dark and endless pyramid. There lies his crown in water deep, till Durin wakes again from sleep. Far over the misty mountains green, to dungeons deep and caverns deep, we must away ere break of day, to win our hearts and gold from him. The wind was on the withered heath, but in the forest.
Thanks, Thunderborn.
Their shadows lay by night and day, and dark things silent crept beneath. The wind came down from shrill and harsh across the marsh, its whistling voices were released. The grasses hills, their tassels bent, the reeds were rotting shaken under heaven's cold, where racing clouds were torn and rent. It passed the low mountain bed and swept above the dragon's den. They're black and dark, they pulled a star, and flying smoke was in the air. It left the world and took its flight over the wide seas of the night. The moon set sail upon the gale, and stars were fast to leaping light under the mountain dark and tall. The king has come unto his hall. His foe is dead, the worm of dread, and ever so his foe shall fall. The sword is sharp, the spear is long, the arrow swift, the gate is strong, the heart is bold, that looks on gold. The dwarves no more shall suffer wrong. The dwarves of yore made mighty spells, while hammers fell like ringing bells in places deep, where dark things sleep. In hollow halls beneath the fells, on silver necklaces they strung, the light of stars on crowns they hung. The dragon flies once more is free. A wandering folk, the summons heed. Come haste, across the waste, the King of friend and King has he. Now we call over the mountains cold. Come back unto the caverns old. Here at the gates, the King awaits. His hands are rich with gems and gold. The King has come unto his hall under the mountain dark and tall. The worm of dread is slain and dead, and ever so our foe shall fall. Farewell we call to hearth and hall. The wind may blow and rain may fall. We must away ere break of day. Far o'er the wood and mountain tall, to Rivendell, where elves yet dwell. In glades beneath the misty fell, through moor and waste, we ride in haste, and whither then we cannot tell, with foes ahead, behind us.
I thought Arcadoodles was resting. I am resting from normal D&D, but I still have a lot of work to get done, so that's what I'm doing right now. I am cranking out some good content.
Our toil be past, our journey done, our errand sped. We must away. We ride before the break of day.
I use Falcone all the time. So, I agree completely. I would definitely jam out to his music.
They will look for him from the White Tower. But he will not return, from mountain or from sea. Through Rohan, over fen and fields, where the long grass grows, the west wind comes walking, and about the walls it goes. What news from the west, O wandering wind, do you bring to me tonight? Have you seen Boromir the Tall, by moon or by starlight? I saw him ride over 7 streams, over waters wide and gray. I saw him walk in empty lands until he passed away into the shadows of the north. I saw him then no more. The north wind may have heard the horn of the son of Denethor. Oh, Boromir, from the high walls westward I looked afar, but you came not from the empty lands where no men are. From the mouths of the sea, the south wind flies. From the sand hills and the storms, the wailing of the ghouls it bears, and at the gate it moans. What news from the south, O sighing wind, do you bring to me at eve? And now is Boromir the fair, tarries, and I grieve.
Ask not of me where he doth dwell, so many bones there lie on the white shores and the dark shores, under the stormy sky. So many have passed down and in to find the flowing sea. Ask of the north wind news of them, the north wind sends to me.
O Boromir, beyond the gate run south. But you came not with the wailing calls from the grey sea's mouth.
From the gate of kings the north wind rides, and past the roaring falls, and clear and cold about the tower its loud horn calls. What news from the north, O mighty wind, do you bring to me today? What news of Boromir the bold, for he is long away. Beneath Ammanhen I heard his cry, there many thoughts he fought. His cloven shield, his broken sword, they to the water brought. His head so proud, his face so fair, his limbs they laid to rest. And Raros, golden Raros, falls for him upon its breast.
O Boromir, the Tower of God shall ever northward gaze. To Raros golden, Raros falls until the end of days.
Oh. I like that song. I like that song a lot.
Swing, swing, swing with me.
Raise your pick and raise your voice.
Sing, sing, sing with me.
Down and down into the deep.
Who knows what we'll find beneath? Diamonds, rubies, gold, and more, hidden in the mountain soar.
Born underground,
Molded from a heart of stone, raised in the dark, the safety of our mountain home. Skin made of iron,
steel in
our bones. To dig and dig makes us free. Come on, brother, sing with me.
Hey.
I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Digging a hole.
Yeah.
The sunlight will not reach this low.
Deep, deep in the mine.
Never seen the blue moon glow.
Dwarves don't fly so high.
Fill the glass and towns of mead. Dog and hood and song and feast.
Work is done, now fall asleep, dreaming in our mountain keep. Forged underground, hammer in the iron room. The earth is our home, the mountain shall become our tomb. face us on the battlefield, you will meet your doom. We do not fear what lies beneath, we can never dig too deep. But I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole, diggy diggy hole, diggy diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole, diggy diggy hole, digging a hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole, diggy diggy hole, diggy diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole, diggy diggy hole, digging a hole.
Would you ever consider DMing a campaign like the old 7 Years, 7 Days ones? I don't know, man. That would be hard. that would take 5 years at least of real life time to do. That's a lot. Never read The Wheel of Time. Is the TV show a good place to start? I've only heard bad things about the TV show, but maybe your experience will vary. I would suggest reading the books first.
I'm the elf and I'm filling in the hole, filling in the hole, filling in the hole. Oh, I am the elf and I'm filling in the hole, filling in the hole, fill in the hole.
Fucking elf. Piece of shit elf.
Beware, beware, the daughter of the sea. Beware, I heard him cry. His words carried upon the ocean breeze as he sank beneath the tide. Those blood-soaked shores of Calendor, where sailors fought and died, the admiral fell at their amour because she left his side.
Why this, oh daughter of the sea? Why this, did you forget your seaside days? Always the pride of our nation's eyes. How could she go astray?
When she did flee across the ocean deep, the admiral followed west.
The audio's whacked? What's wrong with the audio?
What else but sail to save a daughter's life and prayed. She still drew breath. Why this, oh daughter of the sea? Why this, did you forget your seaside days? Always the pride of our nation's eyes. How could she go astray?
But there he found, upon those distant shores, enemies palm arms. But when he faced those savage foes, his daughter stood aside.
And buried deep beneath the waves, betrayed by family, to his nation with his last breath cried, "Be with the daughter of the sea."
Why this, O daughter of the sea? Why this, did you forget your seaside days? Always the pride of our nation's eyes. How could she go astray?
I heard, across a moonlit sea, the old voice warning me. Beware, beware, the daughter of the sea. Beware, beware of me.
I sit beside the fire and think of all that I have seen, of meadow flowers and butterflies in summers that have been, of yellow leaves and gossamer in autumns that there were, with morning mist and silver sun and wind upon my hair. I sit beside the fire and think of how the world will be when winter comes without a spring that I shall ever see. For still there are so many things that I have never seen. In every wood, in every spring, there is a different green. I sit beside the fire and think of people long ago, and people who will see a world that I shall never know. But all the while I sit and think of times there were before. I listen for returning feet and voices at the door.
The leaves were long, the grass was green, the hemlock umbels tall and fair, and in the glade a light was seen of stars in shadow shimmering. Tinuviel was dancing there to music of a pipe unseen, and light of stars was in her hair and in her raiment glimmering.
The Baron came from mountains cold, and lost he wandered under leaves, and where the elven river rolled, he walked alone and sorrowing. He peered between the hemlock leaves and saw in wonder flowers of gold upon her mantle and her sleeves, and her hair like shadow following. Enchantment healed his weary feet, that over hills were doomed to roam, and forth he hastened strong and fleet, and grasped at moonbeams glistening through woven woods in elven home. She lightly fled on dancing feet, and left him lonely still to roam in the silent forest listening.
He heard thereof the flying sound of feet as light as linden leaves, or music welling underground in hidden hollows quavering. Now withered lay the hemlock sheaves, and one by one, with sighing sound, whispering fell the beechen leaves in the wintry woodland wavering. He sought her ever wandering far, where leaves of years were thickly strewn by light of moon and ray of star in frosty heavens shivering. So glinted in the moon, as on a hilltop high and far, she danced and at her feet was strewn a mist of silver quivering. When winter passed, she came again, and her song released the sodden spring, like rising lark and falling rain, and melting water bubbling. He saw the elven flowers spring about her feet and healed again. He longed by her to dance and sing upon the grass untraveling.
Again she fled, but swift he came. Tinuviel, Tinuviel. He called her by her elvish name, and there she halted
listening.
One moment stood she, and a spell his voice laid on her barren king, and doom fell on Tiluviel, that in his arms lay glistening.
As Baron looked into her eyes, within the shadows of her hair, the trembling starlight of the skies, he saw their mirrored shimmering.
The elven fair, immortal maiden, elven wise, about him cast her shadowy hair, and arms like silver glimmering.
Long was the way that fate them bore, o'er stony mountains cold and grey, through walls of iron and darkling door, and woods of nightshade more or less.
The sundering seas between them lay, and yet at last they met once more.
And long ago they passed away
In the forest singing sorrowless. Arundel was a mariner that tarried in Arcadum. He built a boat of timber fell.
Man, I am vibing right now, Jared. I'm getting so much work done. It's crazy the amount of work I'm getting done right now. Breaking these feats out.
Her sails he wove of silver fair.
Of silver were her lanterns made. Her prow was fashioned like a swan, and light upon her banners lay. Panoply of ancient kings, in chained rings he armored him. His shining shield was scored with runes to ward all wounds and harm from him. His bow was made of dragon horn, his arrow shorn of ebony, of silver was his habergeon.
from northern strands, bewildered on enchanted ways, beyond the days of mortal lands.
From gnashing of the narrow ice, where shadow lies on frozen hills, from nether heats and burning waste, he turned in haste and roving still. On stormless waters far astray, at last he came to night of naught, and past and never sight he saw of shining shore nor light he sought. The winds of wrath came driving in, and blindly in the foam he fled, from west to east and errantless, unheralded he homeward sped.
Their flying Elwing came to him, and flame was in the darkness lit, more bright than light of diamond, the far upon her carcanet. No Silmaril she bound on him, and crowned him with the living light, and dauntless then with burning brow, he turned his prow, and in the night
From other world beyond the sea, there strong and free a storm arose, a wind of power in Tarmanel, by paths that seldom mortal goes. His boat it bore with biting breath, as might of death across the grave, and long forsaken seas distressed, from east to west he passed away. Through ever night he back was borne, on black and roaring waves that ran, o'er leagues unlit and foundered shores, that drowned before the days began, until he heard on strands of pearl, where ends the world, the music long, wherever foaming billows roll, the yellow gold and jewels wound. He saw the mountain silent rise, where twilight lies upon the knees of Valinor and Eldamar, beheld afar beyond the seas.
A wanderer escaped from night, to haven white he came at last, to elven home the green and fair, where keen the air, where pale as glass.
Beneath the hill of Ilmarin, a glimmer in the valley sheer, the lamplit towers of Tyrion are mirrored on the shadow mere.
there from errantry, and melodies they taught to him, and sages old him marvels told, and harps of gold they brought to him. They clothed him then in elven white, and 7 lights before him set, as through the Caligirian to hidden land forlorn he went. He came unto the timeless halls, where shining fall the countless years, and endless reigns the elder king in Ilmarin on mountain sheer, and words unheard were spoken then of folk of men and elven kin, beyond the world where visions showed, forbid to those that dwell therein. Elbereth Gilthonia, Silivren Pena Miria, Omene Aglara Elena, Gilthonia Elbereth. We still remember we moved well in this far land beneath the trees, the starlight on the western seas. A ship then new they built for him, of mithril and of elven glass, with shining prow, no shaven oar, nor sail she bore on silver mast. The Silmaril as lantern light, and banner bright with living flame, to gleam thereon by Elbereth herself was set, who thither came, and wings immortal made for him, and laid on him undying doom, to sail the shoreless skies and come behind the sun and light of moon. From Erebin's lofty hills, where softly silver fountains fall, his wings him bore a wandering light beyond the mighty mountain wall. From world's end then he turned away, and yearned again to find afar his home through shadows journeying, and burning as an island star. On high above the mist he came, a distant flame before the sun, a wonder ere the waking dawn, where gray the northern waters run. of yore. Mighty doom was laid, till moon should fade, an orbit star, to pass and tarry nevermore, on hither shores where mortals are. Forever still a herald on, an errand that should never rest, to bear his shining lamp afar, the flammifer of Western Est.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got a shit ton done, man. That was crazy. I'll probably need to make a few more feats to fill in some slots, but I think that should hit pretty much all the main stuff. Probably a couple more general ones I need to make. Because I have to make sure that they can compete with each other. But sure, I can go over each one and explain kind of my thought process behind it. So the first one is tough. Normally it would be double, but I decided that I wanted to make it triple character level because I wanted the HP difference to be substantial. And since this takes up an ASI, it needs to be like definably different, especially now that Constitution does more in the game than just HP. And yes, it would be retroactive. Just like normal tough is. And so that's why I did tough that way. Resilient is a feat that is supposed to be good in 5e, but is like barely chosen. So what I decided to do was you gain expertise on a saving throw you have proficiency with, and you select a saving throw that you do not have proficiency with, and you gain proficiency in that saving throw. So this gives you an additional saving throw to be proficient with and gives you expertise on one you want to be really good at. So this is like a feat that a caster might take if they want to be resistant to spells and stuff like that. So the racial feats that we have, the first one is the human-only one, which is Endless Spirit. So the first one is you gain +1 to any ability score of your choice. Pretty simple human stuff. And you gain advantage on death saving throws. That's supposed to say on, not of. So, why this is important is the human ability determination grants you a 4th roll that if you succeed, then you gain 1 hit point. Which, if you also take the feat Endless Spirit, there's a very good chance that you'll actually be able to keep standing back up unless you're finished off. So to be clear, general and racial feats take the slot of the normal character level. So these are competing for your ASIs. Next is the dwarf one, which is still soul, +1 to wisdom, and you gain additional AR equal to your constitution bonus. It counts as natural armor, but stacks with other sources of AR. So this one could be pretty troublesome balance-wise, because, you know, AR is pretty easy to stack up. But in my opinion, a dwarven fighter should be hardier if he chooses to be. So I'm gonna see how that AR shakes out. So I think that's good. Next is Ageless Grace. Gain +1 to charisma. And then it also says that all melee weapons you wield gain the versatile trait, and melee attack spells gain the finesse property. So this gives you like the ability to make a dexterity caster if you want to suffer the first 3 levels and get to 4th level as elf, which I think is great. And it also opens up the path of actually having like a full dex martial character that's opened up for elf. So one of the neat exceptions to, like, I'm wielding a great sword, but I'm a dex-based character, you know, stuff like that. And I think that's really nice. So there you go, that's elf. Next is Ancient Rage, which prerequisite of that is orc. So this increases your permanent exposure by an additional +1 for orc. The martial elf gives versatile already. No, the martial elf gives finesse. So having Ageless Grace gives you full dex control over the weapon. Anyway, Ancient Rage gives you an extra +1 to permanent exposure. And it says, whenever you trigger your Orc Ferocity, you may, as a triggered action, make the attack action, cast a spell that uses an action, or take the dodge action. Which is really great, because something that'll happen a lot is when your Orc Ferocity triggers, especially when you get to the higher level stuff, they're going to have more than one attack. So the likelihood of you triggering your Orc Ferocity and being able to benefit from it kind of goes down, because I'll have multiple attacks and stuff like that. So this gives you a way to kind of combat that if you want to take that feat. Next is Boundless Joy, which this gives the halfling a +1 permanent exposure. Your True Luck now affects allies within 10 feet of you. It does not affect other halflings. So this is a really nice force multiplier that halfling characters can benefit from, which I just think is great, and I think people are really going to enjoy that. Next is Blended Blood. This one's kind of all over the place, but essentially, as a half-breed, you gain an additional use of your versatile warfare, magic, or mastery, and additional time per their respective rests. Your versatile backpack goes up to 80 instead of 50, and you gain the sub-race ability of your mixed blood. So that means, like, if you were a half-elf, you could be a mist elf. You know, so you'd get the Mist Elf subrace. But you don't get their base racial ability. So, there's that. Anyway, that's it for the racial stuff. Because it was brought up before, no. Foreign races do not get extra feats because they are front-heavy strong. So, just like they also don't get any magical mutation either. So, super duper cool. Hold on, give me a second. Sorry, just taking care of something real quick. Okay. There There we go. Let me bring back up YouTube. This is so weird to me. There we go. Alrighty, so boom, 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 bam. Next up are the martial feats. So weapon adept is +1 strength or dex. Trick access, mastery access. Boom, 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 bam. Since there are parties that have access to particular feat schools, such as church and spirit feats, would those replace ASI like general and race feats? Depends. They'll have separate lists, but yeah. Weapon adept, armor adept does the same, except con and dex. Shield adept, same thing, except strength, dex, or constitution. Armor and shield are different than this one because weapon adept gives a +2 to attack, but armor adept and shield adept give +1 to AC and AR, which is really nice. Combat adept is +1 to damage, and you gain an advanced fighting style. Super cool. Monastic studies, you gain +1 maximum focus, and you gain access to a monastic fighting style. So this is if monks want to lean more into their actual monk side rather than their rebel side. It's very cool. But it gives them a choice of which side they want to go. Let's see. Mundane feats, kit adept, pretty straightforward stuff. So, forging is going to basically be like... I wanted it to be treated like... kind of like item spells. In a way. So, some of the craft feat is... They gather up knowledge and stuff, basically like a wizard does, you know, gathering recipes instead of spells, and they make the item that they find. Pretty straightforward stuff here. The big change that I've really leaned into is you can make items of this type up to a tier equal to half your level, rounded down. Workshops and other modifiers can affect this limitation. So, for example, if you're a 3rd level crafter, you can make level 1, right? At 4th level, when you would get this feat, if you're not like a dwarf or something, then you would make up to tier 2 items. But if you have a workshop, you might get tier 3 items because you have a workshop to make them, so on and so forth. Alchemist works the same way. So blank is something that you have to become. It's not something that you can choose, at least for now. I don't know if I'm going to let people do that. I might come up with a special region that people could choose, I guess, but generally speaking, this is something that has to happen to you, but you gain access to this feat automatically when this happens. So blanks cannot benefit from any magic ever. You have -10 exposure. If a feature would have a permanent or constant exposure attached to it, you cannot benefit from it, such as a class, race, feat, item, or other such sources. Hostile magic has difficulty affecting you. All that stuff's there. Your exposure level cannot change from -10, which means you are effectively immune to corruption, anarchy, order, or hallowed. Very nice. Okay, next up are the apotheosis feats. You'll notice here that it has the lesser ones, each of them giving different levels of power and strength dependent upon it. You'll see that Arcane and Divine have an additional bonus if you're only magic, and that's intended to make sure that the power levels are equalized between the classes that get multiple rolls and not. Is the exposure reduction effect obligatory or optional? It is optional. So you can choose to not reduce your exposure Although, the thing about it that people should remember, that after your apotheosis is done, you're vulnerable to reaching 10 again. Oh, I should put that in there. I actually forgot to put that in there. The end of your apotheosis, you cannot, your exposure is set to 9, and you cannot enter apotheosis again until you have finished. Oop. Until you have finished. Fucking come on. A long rest, and your exposure is reset to minimum. Okay. Forgot to add that in. Let's see here. And do I want to make it give levels of exhaustion? It would make sense to do so, but that's pretty oh, well, I can do that. Yeah. And you gain... We'll do 1 for the lesser. Set to 9. And you cannot enter apotheosis until you finish a long rest. Okay, good. Good. William started bleeding afterwards. Is this more for flavor? Yeah. Are we changing how Ariel's apotheosis works now that we have these out? No. Hers is Metherian, so it's different. These are just the base ones. Alright, next up is imprint tattoos. That works the same, as you might see. Although generally speaking, I should add that. In most cases, characters have a maximum of 3 tattoo slots on their body. Forge Implement works the same. Skill Adept, pretty straightforward there. Far Roamer is going to be pretty crazy. I'll have to keep an eye on that one, because that one can get pretty strong, but I think it's a good choice. And it gives some nice feat power to the Wanderer, a roll. Jack of all trades will be a pretty hard one to get people to take, but I think it'll be fairly strong. I think mobility is good. If you want to go fast, you can go fast. Yep. I think that's good stuff. I think that's, yeah. I think that's good. That's at least a good start. I mean, we're not going to set anything into stone until I'm done with all of them, but I think that's everything. Because I got to make the fighting styles next. Yeah, I think fighting styles are going to take me like fucking... You know what I might do? I might just, I just might redo all of them. Because some of them that I've made already, I don't really like them that much. So... yeah, I might have to think about this some more. And I haven't made the class-based feats yet either, which are going to take the general feat slot. Oh, actually, I guess I could make them take the roll feat slot as well. No, I have to make it general. Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'll think. I don't want to. I don't want to like commit myself to something in case I want to change it. But I think I'm definitely going to redo all of the advanced fighting styles because I don't know. I just think I can do a better job. I also want to make the fighting styles region-based, which was my original plan, and I kind of didn't do that this time. So, yeah. I'll probably give everybody a free rebuild option so they can choose a fighting style when I finish the absolute list, but the actual list is going to have a shit ton of them on there, so it should be fine. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I ain't going to do that today, though, because that's going to take like a whole fucking day on its own. Oh, I should make alert, too. Yeah. There's a couple other ones that I have to hit, like actor and alert. Well, yeah, it's that was my original plan with the advanced fighting styles, was to make them all regional based, and I kind of just didn't do it, which is a regret I have. So I'm just gonna redo all of them and follow my original plan. Maybe I'm just a D&D noob, but I don't see many situations where advantage on death saving throws and a +1 ASI gives more than 12 HP. Well, here's the thing, right? So you could say at 4th level, I'll take this and I'll get 12 to my HP, all right? Which for a martial character is the equivalent of like 1 level, right? 1 good level if you roll well in terms of HP. Or you could say that with advantage to death saving throws and a +1 to an ability score, if you had an odd con, then that's the equivalent of you gaining 1/3 of the power of toughness anyway, plus now you have advantage on death saving throws. And I can tell you right now, Knob, that just because you have +12 HP doesn't mean you won't go down. And if you're down and you don't have advantage to death saving throws, then you could die, right? You could roll the 1 easily. Whereas you have advantage, you have a much lower chance of rolling the 1. And also, because that's supposed to be a human feat, it couples in with your determination. So you might say that 12 HP is better than the ability to increase your automatic stand-up by a pretty substantial amount, basically a 75% chance that on your 4th death saving throw, your special one, that you get to stand back up and keep fighting. You could say that 12 HP is better than that, and I suppose it is most of the time, until it's not. That's the trade-off. Toughness is always somewhat good, whereas Endless Spirit is not necessary until it's really necessary. You see what I mean? It's the same thing. It's the same argument of, is Featherfall a good spell? Endless Spirit gets countered by the trait where they hit you when they are down. Well, that's true. It can be, assuming that your entire party just lets you sit there and they don't help you or move you or any other regard like that. But everything's countered by everything. There's enemies that don't hit points, for example. Shying away. Anyway, I digress. Still got to do some more work on them, but I think this is a pretty good starting base. The roll ones are separate from the ones that replace ASI? Correct. Your roll feats are a separate feat list, and you get a feat for each roll that you have, plus you get one for being a regular character. Speaking of which, I need to... Oh, those are pretty good. Anyway, boom, 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 bam. Okay, that was a nice little 2-hour stream. It was pretty good. Got some feats done. We'll probably do another one when I get home tomorrow. Or when I get home Thursday, one of those two. And then I'll do another stream where I'll go over advanced fighting styles. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. YouTube keeps track of the average view duration. That's kind of cool. Well, I'm hoping that, because we've pretty much only had about 25 people here this whole time, which is, I won't lie, is pretty disheartening, but it's also at a different time, I guess, than most people were expecting. And it isn't an actual game, and it's not on Twitch, so there you go, I guess. I really wish I could stream on both at the same time. That would be very cool. But Anyway. Oops, that's hidden. You're not supposed to see that, chat. Tee. When is the Primus fight recap? I'll probably do the recap videos after I'm done with the Corvanis stuff. Keck allows cross-streaming. Yeah, but the owners involved in Keck I don't think like me very much. So... You could also do live. I don't know what live is. Is that a platform, or are you just saying that I should do the Primus fight live? Yeah, I could probably just do it live. That might be better, actually. And then Primus went... Oh, you guys want to see some shit? Hold on. I could just do this, too, where I'm just like... let's see here. Or you just do this. Here's the Primus recap. There. Look at all them abilities. Doesn't matter if they like you, just do your thing unless they actively go out to stop you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. One D&D boy. Anyway, good stream, guys. I'm going to call it there because I'm going to go get some dinner. Yeah. I'm going to go get some dinner. I'm going to eat some food. Wait, what? Google Play Movies and TV app is going away. Oh, shit. Sorry, my phone just is like, hey, did you know this is happening? Isn't that sad? All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. You guys are great. It means a lot. I'll see you guys next time.